Hello, everybody. Welcome to EFL Championship predictions, round 28. The run-in is up and running. Easy for me to say. Midweek round coming. I've got to say, Mr. Parkin, I'm actually quite impressed with you today because you had a good win, 11-4, but somewhat of a perfect hat-trick here. You got 3 bob-ons, 1 home, 1 away, and 1 draw. So well played. You had Coventry winning 2-1, never in doubt, right? You had Pompey winning away 1-0, and you were on the Birmingham Swansea draw as well. So I will allow you to be smug for about 5 seconds. Happy Sunday to you, sir.
Cheers, mate. Happy Sunday. So that's 5 results then, yeah? 5 results, right. 3 spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have had the 1-1 though, right? With Swansea Birmingham. Am I right in
No,
saying
I think
that?
I might have even gone first on that one.
Oh, did you? Yeah, found a bit of form, mate, haven't I?
Yeah,
Found a bit of form. Is it going to be too little, too late? But there's a bit of rhythm
I
there.
went first and went 2-1. Actually, on a couple of your bob-ons, I went first. So I've got no excuse either.
Nice.
I am still 15-8 up with 4 draws. Sam, we have one public apology to give, and that'll allow me to segue right into this midweek round of games because our first fixture is Charlton versus Derby. And ladies and gentlemen, we both said Charlton were going to lose at home to Sheffield United. Sam, I think we do have a rather strong mitigating factor of 2 red cards for the Blades. But would you like to apologise to Zebedee, Nathan Jones and the Charlton fans? We got that one wrong.
Of course, no problem at all. Apologies. I'm going to be there for the QPR game in about 2 weeks' time. I think 2 weeks on Friday or something akin to that. So, yeah. I mean, it was a bizarre game. I think I was just a bit down on Charlton after the last couple of results. Obviously, the Chelsea game I covered, and I felt they were...
And high on Sheffield United at the same time.
Yeah. Although Sheffield United seemed to have that real consistency at Bramall Lane, but maybe not so much on the road. I think that's 3 straight defeats now. So, I mean, it's a mad game. I think I saw this morning Sheffield United had 10, I think. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they'd had 10 shots to and then Charlton's none before Charlton,
it was 12-1 in the second half to Charlton.
Was it before the first red card? I think the second one isn't helped by the pace they're moving at. Tanganga, I don't know who the other player is that he goes into, but he gets a little shove from Liban as well. So I wouldn't say it's harsh because I think you're ill-advised to go in that fashion after there's already been a red. Yeah. The first is the clearest red you're ever going to see. And I'm sorry, I think, given what I just said, Tanganga has been a little bit foolish steaming in that manner. So don't think they can have too many complaints. And, a great win for Charlton. Needed it.
Yeah. How are they going to go? Because Derby obviously had a great win at Preston, didn't they?
How are they going to go? I'll have to side with caution in here, I think. I could see Derby winning there, probably more so than Charlton winning. So for that reason... Oh, am I going to do it? I'm going to take the 0-0.
Okay.
Just edging out the 1-1. I'm going to go 0-0.
Yeah. I'm almost with you that I think Sheffield United win that game if it stays 11 versus 11. Chris Wilder thought they would win even if it was 10 versus 11. He said he fancied them, but 9 versus 11 is ridiculous. So do we have a read on Charlton? I'm not entirely sure we do. Whereas Derby... very good. You've always liked Ozo. He came back in and played well. Yeah. Agyemang now has 10 goal contributions for the season. I think Travis is back in as well. And we're just waiting for Carlton Morris. So it's a 1-0 special if Jones wins and it's a 1-0 special if Eustace wins. I will back Eustace. And I'll go Charlton 0, Derby 1. And... I'll apologise now in advance, but you've had your public apology. Charlton fans, great win over Sheffield United. Sam, this is brilliant. Coventry versus Millwall, and fair play, mate. You were one of the few pundits. I've seen a lot of Millwall fans bookmarking tweets. You were one of the few pundits who called the Millwall win here, given the form. Superb from Millwall to go and win at Watford, but really good from Coventry as well to show the resilience to come from behind against Leicester. I don't have Millwall winning this, Sam. If they do, that is a mad statement win. They're in the automatic promotion race if they go to Coventry and win. I do think they could get a draw, though. But I'm going to predict exactly the same thing is going to happen that happened on Saturday. Millwall take the lead. Coventry win 2-1.
Yeah, I think I think obviously a lot of my prediction last time out was due to the recent record against Watford.
And you'd seen one of them as well, hadn't you?
I had, but it's also the players coming back, isn't it? I think for Millwall, they've been hindered by injury, and I think the bottom line is they've got better depth now to be able to deal with that type of situation. Hence the
Sam,
position.
sorry to interrupt. Can we do a real quick shout out? Jake Cooper is now Millwall's 5th all-time leading appearance maker. How good is that?
Did we speak about him on the last pod? I mean, I'm
Possibly,
sure I was speaking about him in the other centre half, but I mean, I think I was certainly doing a bit of digging, and he's only early 30s. I thought he was definitely like 35, 36.
50.
Because he played with Hutchison for so long, didn't he? And he's kind of seen him off, and he's still there. I kind of boxed those two together because they were partners for 5 or 6 seasons, and he's still going, and he's still relatively young, which is incredible. I think I'm just going to go safety here. I thought it was a good game for Coventry that against Leicester, and it's exactly how it proved. The way the game ended and the way that the fans would have left, that's just reinvigorated them, I would imagine. Needed after a bit of a dip. I'm going to just go for the 1-0. I could see what you say happening, but I can also see, given a couple of recent games won by slender margin for Cov, them doing it again against a very good Millwall side. 1-0.
Ipswich Town versus Bristol City. Sam, your former club and the club I love have won 6 consecutive games at Portman Road.
Yeah, and again, was that Bob on? Did I get Ipswich?
I think you had 2-0 rather than 3-0.
I had 2-0. All right, I'll double it up. I'll have 2-0 again. And I know Bristol City can cause teams a lot of problems and have caused teams a lot of problems, but I just think, I mean, they may very well get a goal, but I can't back against Ipswich at the moment, especially at home. 2-0.
Yeah, Ipswich are a little bit of a machine at the moment. Do you know what it reminds me of a little bit? Farke's Leeds, when you looked at them at home, when we did check-in podcasts and stuff, and it was very, very predictable. Other than the goalkeeper throwing in the odd one, Melier, they normally dominated the ball, made significantly more chances at home, and won the games, unless the keeper had an aberration. And it feels like that's what Ipswich are doing at the moment. Bristol City are a bit all over the place. 5-0 win, 2-0 home defeat, 5-1 win, 0-0 draw at Oxford, which Gerhard Struber was not impressed with looking at his post-match. So I'm going to back Ipswich as well. And I'm going to steal one of your ideas. I think there's a goal for City. I think what would get a big round of applause if it ended 2-1 and Sam Morsey got a consolation goal after captaining the double promotion winning team. But you never know how people are going to be received when they come back. So I will go for another 2-1 home win. And we'll move on to Oxford versus QPR. Sam, I watched this one on a watch along. It was 0-0 earlier in the season. Didn't enjoy it. I think you had a few glasses of red and kind of just enjoyed having a night off being a fan, to be honest. But Oxford went 0-0 at the weekend. So did QPR. I'm wondering, do we get another 0-0 here with Matt Bloomfield? I know, and you're right, that Gary Rowett's probably gone out in terms of the owners wanting more attacking options, and we've seen Donnelly and now Pert Harris coming in, but I think he's going to go safety first for a bit. So I will take the 0-0. 0-0 add 0-0, Sam, equals 0-0.
Yeah, I think, I probably would have happily had a QPR win a few months ago here. Maybe the gap's a little bit tighter given QPR's injury woes and the lack of goals, Sheffield Wednesday game aside, in recent games. So I think it'll be tight. But I think I still go for QPR here, especially off the back of a stalemate at Stoke. They'll find something and they'll get over the line, and I'll give Oxford a goal. 2-1 Rangers.
Preston versus Hull. That is a quality matchup, Sam. 5th versus 6th. Nobody has won more championship away games than Hull City.
Yeah, I think I'm going to sit on the fence here, mate, because it's a great win at Southampton. Preston, I saw Paul Heckingbottom thought that he quite possibly could have got something out of their defeat against Derby. I think I'm going to play a 1-1 here. If I was going to side with either side for the maximum, I'd probably go Preston, just because I'm not sure. Going to Southampton and banging out 3 points, going up to Preston, or going across to Preston, slightly diagonally down. I'd imagine it is it? I'm pretty good with my geography. I just think that's a tall order in the Championship. Do you know what I mean? A tall order when Preston would be a bit wounded after that defeat. I'm going to go 1-1, and I quite like the way that sounds coming out.
I was on Hull. No, I wasn't. We were both on the draw. I was on Hull getting something. There you go. All the more reason. I've got to take Hull here. And I mean, you're right. When you actually laid it out like that, I was like, oh God, yeah, that is a rank couple of away games back to back.
Like tough games.
Yeah. But I'm going to do it nonetheless. And if Preston are losing at home, I think it's close. Do you know, Preston, that was only the third time they've been shut out this season. So I think they score. I'm going to back Hull. I'll go 2-1 away win, and Jukirovic to continue pulling tigers out of hats, rabbits out of hats, whatever you want to say. Sheffield Wednesday versus Birmingham. Sam, however bad Birmingham are away from home, and would you believe the only team worse away from home in the EFL Championship, after three everybody, is Sheffield Wednesday. Some big links with Bannon making a glorious exit there mid-season. A few clubs wanting for a promotion run-in, possibly, which would, I don't know, not insult to injury, the cherry on the horrible, not very nice tasting cake. I've got to back Birmingham. Sam, Wednesday, they've gone like 20 without a win or something. Let's go for it all to click as well. I'll go 3-0 Blues, Sam.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure because I haven't got it in front of me the last time Birmingham scored 3 away from home. I suggest it was a few weeks ago at least. They obviously put 3 past Coventry. I could see something similar happening here. I'm going to give Sheffield Wednesday a goal, but I think Birmingham could win this and win this handsomely 3-1.
So they got 3 in the FA Cup, but that was obviously against Cambridge. I am scrolling up here.
Might not have had 3 this season.
I can't see one. Blues fans, correct us if we're wrong there. Yeah, I don't see. I mean,
they've been ranked bad, haven't they, away from home?
Oh God, yeah. So it's unlikely they've scored.
That's not a surprise if maybe early weeks of the season, but yeah, certainly not in recent times.
Remind me your scoreline, Sam. Was it 3-1?
3-1, please, mate.
Swansea versus Blackburn, Sam.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, expected defeat for Blackburn, wasn't it? But, I mean, this winless run goes on and...
1 in 11.
1 in 11, is it now? Yeah. Tough times for them. And I think there's been big improvement at Swansea. The problem being, and I spoke about this very often, they're not full of goals, are they? And they're very, very reliant on Vipotnik. So, that's clearly somewhere where they need to focus and strengthen in the window and the summer if they're going to have a better pop at it. But absolutely no doubt that they're much improved. Box them in with Norwich basically as managers that have come in and had an immediate impact. So for that reason, I'm going to go for the grubby 1-0, the midweek grub 1-0.
Yeah, that's a scribble. I'm going to back Swansea as well. Vitor Matos undefeated at home. And yeah, you talk about rank travel. That's awful as well, isn't it? Blackburn go to Ipswich on Saturday and then off to Swansea, Okay, they're trying to make some changes. Maktar Gay's gone out and Jorgensen made his debut. Aaron Cashin made his debut and scored an OG after 3 minutes. I assume they'll do another couple of bits because they are bare bones. But yeah, I actually quite like Swansea at home. Galbraith's a lovely footballer. You'd love to play with Timon, Sam, if you were playing up top. He's just going to keep pinging it into the... Yeah,
I mean, different type of players, but I would say I think Galbraith I stuck him in my EFL team of the year 2025 because of what he did obviously at Leyton Orient last year and how easily he's adapted to the Championship. I think he's had an unbelievable 12 months. Galbraith, he continuing to get a lot of plaudits. Yeah, Timon's got great delivery. Different type players, but both lovely. equally effective.
Where do I go then, Sam? I'm on a 2-0 or a 2-1. Swansea have had clean sheets, haven't they? I'll go 2-0 Swansea. This is brilliant. You'll never work in a place like this again. West Brom versus Norwich, Sam. If Norwich go to West Brom and win, West Brom are 1 point above Norwich. Norwich are currently in the bottom 3. that very, very much puts West Brom and Eric Ramsey in the relegation zone. I think Philippe Clement is playing the Sargent thing very, very well. It's helpful when you've got one of the hottest strikers in the league up front, scoring 9 goals in his last 8 appearances. So I'm going to go straight in there. I want the grenade, the narrative. Let's go for the Norwich away win, because they went to Wrexham and won. And obviously Makama's going to score. I think West Brom get a goal, because I don't think they're going to be half pregnant, so to speak, now Eric Ramsey's the manager. I think they'll be a bit boom or bust. I'll go 2-1 Norwich.
Yeah, I wouldn't be as hot on Norwich for this particular game. I mean, they're unfortunate not to be out of trouble. There's a lot of what I'm looking at here. There's a lot of green after their results at the moment for wins.
Pompey got 6 points in the last 3. That's the issue, isn't it? Yeah.
I think they're 4 wins in 6, aren't they, Norwich, all competitions?
Yeah.
And the improvement's been very obvious and vast. I'm happy with a point here, I think, point apiece. I think the West Brom fans were quite pleased with the shape, maybe not the personnel. Squeezed into the new formation.
You don't fancy Mikey Johnston at right wing back?
No, that didn't go particularly well, did it? But they had a good spell in the second half, and the changes really impacted things. So, yeah, if he's got a system which he's going to stick with, and I think the in-game changes there, like I just touched on, he did go to a back four, didn't he? Latterly, proved quite positive for them. But I'm quite happy. I quite like a draw here.
Yeah,
clearly not defending great and conceding goals. West Brom. I'll go for a 2-2. I like it. I'm on it tonight.
It would have been 2-2 the other night, were it not for a late goal.
And that's what I had, wasn't it? I had a 2-2. There you go.
Oh, you didn't, did you? Actually, someone said that in the chat. Yeah, they were on that. Wrexham versus Leicester. That is the TV game. So I will be covering that as a watch along on this here channel on Tuesday night. Come and join me, Sam. What are the punters going to see? Hopefully, loads of goals. Although you're about to tell me Parkinson and Cifuentes are not going to serve up many, are you?
I don't know, mate. That's a bit of a toss of the coin, isn't it, that? Because Wrexham have been very goal-laden recently. And
Leicester back. Kiefer off the bench as well.
Yeah, and Leicester have got such talented players. I mean, James has probably not got a lot of headlines this year, is he? But he's playing with, I don't know if I love it all the time, but he's got a bit of a swagger, hasn't he?
Love it.
He's got something about him. He's kind of, you stick him in a better team. He's kind of got those... His chest is out. He's kind of orchestrating things amongst his teammates. I think he's full of confidence, and unfortunately,
he could play in any championship team, couldn't he?
Yeah, unfortunately, he's playing in a team that's a little bit indifferent. When you, certainly inconsistent. Him and Fatawu and one or two others. Game could have been out of sight at Coventry, couldn't it? In that first half. I don't know where to side here. Do you know what? I'm going to go for. I quite like the draw again, I'm going to play another 1-1. I was going to say 2-2. I don't mind the 2-2, but I'm going to play another 1-1. They've not had a clean sheet in donkey's years, have they, Leicester? So, 1-1.
I'm going to back Wrexham, Sam. I just think with Leicester travelling twice and they've just played Coventry and they just lost late and they're just not a winning football team. And I think in a coin flip between these two clubs, with it being at home and with that personnel coming back for Wrexham, I think they get the win, Sam. But, yeah, James, Reed, Fatawu will all give you a goal. So, do you know what? I'll go 3-1. I'll go 3-1 to Wrexham. Maybe it will be 2-1 and I'll get a late goal at the end. It's Southampton versus Sheffield United. And, I'm going to be on the away win for this one, Sam. And the Southampton fans must just be like, this is manager after manager. I think they had, I wrote it down, was it 2.68 XG, 22 shots, 1 goal, 0 points. We were saying that under Russ Martin and Will Still, and now Tondereka as well. They're just very, very flaky, aren't they, Southampton? I don't think Sheffield United are going to be. You make a very good point about their away form, but can you explain away a mad collapse at Wrexham, not showing up for the second half at West Brom, double red card at Charlton? Maybe you can't, but I'm going for the win anyway. It is Southampton 0, Sheffield United 1, Sam.
Yeah, I'm going to play tactically here because I don't really have a strong feeling. How affected is Sheffield United going to be by 2 suspensions, I suppose.
That's a fair point. I hadn't realised.
Not hugely would be my hunch because of the quality. Probably that's ready to come in, but I love Tanganga. I'm not sure he's been as consistent maybe at Millwall, but I think on his day he's still top Championship, and I think he's unlucky not to have got that Premier League move. I'm going to go for Southampton here. Don't ask me why, but I just think they might turn up. So Sheffield United haven't been brilliant away. A couple of suspensions, another long trip away for them. It's 2-1 or 1-0. It's 2-1 Southampton.
Watford versus Pompey, Sam. You forecast it, but it was Watford's first home defeat in 11 games and Pompey's first away win since the opening day of the season. History repeating itself on Wednesday?
It's a tall order, I think, for Pompey to win away from home again. So I would fancy the draw. But I'm not going to give you another draw because I've already got 4 of those. So I am going to play my second 1-0 home win. Watford 1, Pompey 0.
Yeah, I'm going to take Watford as well. I think you get the bounce back here. Portsmouth, I don't think it's controversial for me to say Portsmouth are not as good as Millwall. So I think you get the response. I just didn't think Watford had, because that wasn't a smash and grab. Millwall were really good value for that win. I didn't think Watford had that kind of, we just talked about Southampton being flaky. I thought Watford were a little bit stronger than that at the moment. So hopefully I don't have to reevaluate, but I think they get back to winning ways here. And let's go for some fun. No one's played a bonus point yet, have they? But I'm not going to. I'll go 3-1. Sam, I'll go for 4 goals. Stoke versus Middlesbrough. First things first, Divine Mubama has a broken leg, Sam. So obviously we and everybody with the channel would wish him a speedy recovery. I'm not going to ask Sam to do it, but he can speak better than most about the anguish, physically and mentally, of football players getting bad injuries.
I will say that that's such a shame because early part of the season, I thought he was going to score absolute bundles this year. So it's not maybe played out as I envisaged, but there's a player there. So yeah, hopefully he gets back quickly and has a good recovery. Yeah,
very much so. Stoke lost what many consider the best goalkeeper in the Championship, and they've kept 4 clean sheets in a row since they lost him. So I don't understand that. This feels a bit bland because it means I'm going to back Coventry, Ipswich and Middlesbrough all to win, which they all did at the weekend. But there's just something about Middlesbrough at the moment that tells me they get the goal they need to win this. And to quote you, Sam, a solitary goal is all it's going to take here. I don't think it's a flying Borough performance. I think Mark Robbins will see to that. But I think it's a 1-0 away win.
Yeah, I mean, Stoke have had a couple of really positive results away from home, haven't they? But the form in front of their own supporters is a little bit indifferent. And with the news that you've just laid out, I think there's maybe one other quite big injury or something I read in the last 24 hours as well.
Is it not Johansson?
Yeah, it might very well have been. So obviously there's issues there. Not a great feeling. Probably arrested that complete slide with those positive away results that I speak of, but I'm more than happy to take Middlesbrough here. 2-0 away win.
There we go. Brilliant stuff. Get your predictions in the comments. And I have to say, for those of you who disagreed with me that the run-in starts here, it had already started, hadn't it, on Saturday when we knew Middlesbrough had won. You got Ipswich 2-0 up and Coventry are behind and everyone's mapping out the league table. It was great already on Saturday, Sam. And a bit of a rising tide at both ends of the table now. I know there's been criticisms that it's a slow pace. You won't need many points to stay up. You won't need many points to get promoted. But it's about to get really real now, Sam, in the Championship, isn't it?
Yeah, I think obviously we've gone in quite early on Coventry just because it was quite unprecedented, the form of the early season, and it looks like they're going to be able to find a little bit of form, players returning, scoring goals, squad's looking healthier. Again, the fight for second could be great, couldn't it? I think Middlesbrough playing some lovely stuff, but Ipswich have really stepped on the gas. Down the bottom, you can certainly make a case.
You're a bit worried for Blackburn now.
Well, you'd be worried for Charlton and Blackburn, wouldn't you? I think are the two outside the bottom four right now. You expect West Brom to have enough quality, new manager to get a bit of a bounce. Sheffield United will be fine. I think maybe that sentiment that they could garner enough points to maybe sneak in the playoffs is looking harder and harder by the day.
Sam, if Leicester got deducted 9 points, they'd be level with Blackburn and Pompey.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not saying they're going to. I'm just saying if they did.
Yeah, I mean, but as we sit here tonight, Charlton won, didn't they, the other day? But I read an article saying that was one of the worst performances, which provided 3 points in recent memory. Yeah. So I think they're in a little bit of a tough spot, but they've made a couple of eye-catching signings actually in Clark, and Dykes, who
there'll be more as well, Sam.
Who've done a very unfashionable job the other day, but you win your headers around the box and stick it in the vicinity of Carey, he'll get you a few goals, which he showed at the start of the season. So that might be a fruitful addition, Dykes. But them absolutely and Blackburn are the two sides who Portsmouth. I think Norwich are going to have enough, aren't they, to pull away? But Portsmouth are going to be thinking Blackburn and Charlton are probably the most likely two we're going to be in a fight with obviously
Sam, we've got that rearranged Charlton Pompey game coming up as well. So there's going to be a few epic head-to-heads coming up. Check out the midweek action. Sam, are you working midweek?
I'm doing Ipswich, Bristol City. Yeah, co-coms. So first look at Ipswich for a while, I think. I did a Bristol City game in the autumn, one at Ashton Gate, but it's going to be my first time on these two live for a while. So
excellent.
I'll be sitting down to pore over the latest action, facts and figures, probably first thing tomorrow once I've had a kip, because it's been a long old Sunday.
And Sam might be checking out the excellent Blue Monday podcast.
Mate, I will be, and I would love to name check the Bristol City pods I listen to, because our mate Fevs has put me onto a couple previously, and they do a fine line in podcasts as well.
Excellent.
Bristol City. So I've got some good listening ahead next couple of days. Absolutely.
Brilliant. And we will see Sam back, because it is a 3-game week. We'll be back for another show on Thursday, and then we should be able to get a Championship Check-In podcast fitted in at some point next week. Thank you all for joining us. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, get your predictions down there in the comments, and enjoy the midweek round 28.